Hey everybody, welcome back to the Court of Random Opinion. My name is Lauren Neidigh. One of my viewers left me a comment that led me to an interesting story in the whole Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni universe. And this is relating to Blake's appearance at the Time 100 Gala last week. This story comes from the Hollywood Raw channel on YouTube, which I'll put a link to in the description of this video. One of the two men on this clip I'm about to show you was there, and he's going to describe what happened when fans were expecting Blake Lively on the red carpet to go into the gala. And then I'm going to give you my opinion on the whole thing, which is probably not what some people are going to expect. Apparently, Blake was targeted by a very juvenile prank.
There was a main door, a front door, and that's where I was waiting for her to see that she would come in the front door. And there's fans there, and the fans were ready for her to come. And I guess these were Baldoni fans. They were throwing stink bombs on the ground, waiting for her to come because they thought, that was their way of,
so people were actually throwing stink bombs at Blake Lively outside the Time 100?
They were not throwing it at her, but outside the front entrance. They were throwing them on the ground in anticipation of her walking in.
What did it smell like? Does it smell like crap?
Rotten eggs.
Rotten
eggs, yeah.
Look at this guy on the left. I like him. It's like, what did it smell like? Wish I could smell it. No, these guys seem funny.
Not crap, rotten eggs. There's a clear difference between crap and rotten eggs.
Do I need to say it? Why do you know that? No, I get it.
Could you tell if she walked through the scent? Did
no,
she look grossed out?
She went in through the side door. So she didn't go through the main entrance. She went through a small side door, which I actually saw her go in because they tried a few celebrities, her, Serena Williams, and Simone Biles. They snuck them in through a small side door to avoid, I guess, like a carpet or so, to see less people. Well, their rep, when they did walk, their rep is like right on top of them as they do it, like especially Blake, like right next to her. In case someone in the crowd says something Baldoni, they're pulling her arm and bringing her right in.
First of all, this was the first time I had ever seen that channel, so I went ahead and subscribed. And like I said, I'm going to link below to their channel. But also, that was just a small clip from the show they did. So they had a lot of interesting things to say. And like that guy was saying, he was there, so he has some cool insights. I would definitely recommend going to their channel to watch more of the video. But I wanted to talk about that stink bomb prank. Most people would probably think that I would find that hilarious because I love juvenile humor and bathroom humor. Look, it's just who I am. I can't help it. But I'm actually not really a big fan of this move. Just a couple of things to point out. I don't know if he saw for sure they were Justin Baldoni fans. I don't know. I'm sure he could clear up how he knows that or if it was just a guess. And I'm not sure how he knows they were targeting Blake instead of some of the other people who were supposed to be walking the carpet or people were expecting to show up. I'm not saying they weren't because I wasn't there. He was. So I'm sure he could clear that up. Maybe I should ask him in a comment or something as long as I remember to do that. Somebody remind me. That being said, whether or not it was Justin fans or whether or not they were actually there to target Blake with the stink bombs, it doesn't really matter. I think that it's bad behavior all around. I'm not really a fan of pranks that are a public nuisance or make people feel scared or disgusted, like strangers you don't know who want nothing to do with this prank. But as a general rule, if I'm pulling a prank, it's going to be on someone I know. I don't want to disturb other people with them. I think that's never a good idea. It could get you into trouble. It's just not a good thing to do. Second, like he said, Blake went into a side door. So the fact that they stink bombed the carpet in the front, not great because there might have been other people who had to walk in that way. And so other celebrities who they may, not even really know who they are, or they may just, they like those people. They just had no idea they were going to be walking on the stink bomb carpet. So it's just not a good idea because you could end up ruining somebody else's day. Nobody wants to dress up all fancy and go to this nice event that they're supposed to, be having a nice time at and smell like rotten eggs. And third, I just don't think it's cool to harass people. That's obviously unwanted behavior. I don't condone or recommend anyone harass anyone ever, even if someone you really don't like, even if you have really horrible opinions of them. I personally find it best to use your voice, not attack people with stink bombs. Not only could it get you in trouble, it's also just, I don't know, I guess you're going to see some people who will spin it as, look how childish and horrible Justin's fans are. Who talks like this? I'm not sure. But anyways, I just don't think that anything like this is a really good idea. And I will say I can't tell people what to do. I can't tell you what to think. I'm just here to tell you what I think. And that's my opinion. So if you think this was a super funny joke and this is your Super Bowl is throwing stink bombs at stuff, please don't think that I'm looking down upon you or anything like that. I'm just telling you how I feel. I personally would not be doing stuff like this. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you why I don't think it's a good idea, and you can do what you will with that information. Don't get me wrong, I'm not about to go all Chris Crocker, leave Blake alone. But personally, I don't really want to see anyone harassed, because that's not something I root for, no matter how much I might not like the person or what they're doing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Was this a funny prank? Was it going too far? And like I said, shout out to Hollywood Raw for that story. You should definitely go listen to more of what they had to say. That's all I got for now, guys. I'll keep an eye out for more news, and I'll let you know if I find anything. See you all soon.